we're live, but we got a minute 45 timer. Yeah, I like me some Buffalo Wild Wings.
They're all right.
I used to hit them up every week when I was in high school.
We didn't really have them around here a lot until like they weren't around when I was growing up.
Yeah.
They came around like maybe like 10 years ago in this area.
Okay. Well, I graduated high school in 2012, so
Right.
what was I going to say? Let's see.
Greg likes to be fashionably late.
What's that?
Greg likes to be fashionably late.
It appears so. It appears so.
I did invite Hope's Barbecue, but I doubt he's going to come on.
Okay, you sent him the link?
I didn't send him. I could send him the link, but he didn't respond to me on that part. He responded to me on another part. But I'll text it to him. He's got an interesting stuff.
Yeah,
going on.
For sure. All right, guys, welcome back to the Kirby's Barbecue YouTube channel. This is our weekly live stream, and we've got TJ from Zoomies Barbecue. What's going on, brother? Happy Father's Day.
Oh, thank you. You're not a father, so I can't wish that to you.
I'm a dog dad. I'm a dog dad.
Nah, not the same.
all good, man.
I'm good. I'm tired. I did a cook today, so.
So tell us about that. How did it start? What time did you get started? What'd you cook?
I did. Well, I wanted to get up for 6 o'clock. I woke up way before that, so I ended up getting up for 5 a.m. Getting the fire going, and actually got 2 briskets. There's my wife. I got 2 briskets and a pork butt on for 6 a.m.
Okay. And they came off about 5 p.m., you said?
Yeah, the briskets came off about 5 p.m. The pork butt was obviously done. Pork butt was done a few hours earlier.
And they're sitting in the water right now, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, good deal. And so, what is the plan for those?
So one of them, I've got a bunch of sales with coworkers to package up. The other one is going to be photos and bringing it to a couple influential people in my area that I deal with, so they can actually taste my stuff, because they like it. They'll get my name out.
Okay, good deal. And speaking of that, you've been doing some research over the last week or so, right? Trying to figure out what you're going to need to get your stuff selling, correct?
Oh yeah, that's an ordeal in itself. I do have my state LLC done. I have the EIN number done. I'm working on doing my occupational license, and then my health board license. And I'll probably be taking a test for my ServSafe pretty soon. I gotta cut out some time for that.
Okay, you'll get that, no problem, man. That'll be easy. You just got to find a couple hours you can knock it out.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then you found a commercial kitchen, right?
Yeah, I have that in the works. I met with him last week. He's definitely down to do it. I told him that I still had some things to work out with the parish that I'm in, so I wasn't rushing out. I did go to a local farmers market, and had I been ready, I could have started on Saturday when I went out there. I mean, they don't ask for much of it, anything at all. So
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna get that going in a month. The weekend after the 4th is what I'm shooting for.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. Well, man, we had crazy, crazy rain today in the Houston area. Luckily, it was after I was pretty much 95% sold out. It probably happened around 3 o'clock. We just got torrential downpours. It's still raining, thunderstorming. It was pretty crazy. I know I sent you and Greg a couple pictures. It was just insane out there. But luckily, the rest of the weekend was nice, and we were pretty much sold out by the time the heavy rain came through. So it was good. We had a lot of new customers this weekend coming out for Father's Day, and I think we made a good impression. Everybody was super impressed and pleased with their meals. So we're just trying to build it slowly each and every weekend. Serving new guests, serving existing guests, and yeah, it's a slow grind, man. It's a slow grind.
Yeah, you got to build it up.
Absolutely. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Put it here in the chat. As always, we want to answer any questions that you guys have. Um, we're going to be having Greg from Brisket Daddy Barbecue on shortly. He's running fashionably late as usual. As usual. Um, I know he had an interesting weekend as well, doing some cooks. So we'll figure out what happened with all of that good stuff. And so let's talk about a little bit about Texas Monthly's top 50 list. We're not going to go too in depth here, but have you been watching any content on any of the restaurants that made the list or anything like that, TJ?
I haven't had a ton of time to watch YouTube lately, but I did. There's one dude that I follow, and I'm off the top of my head, I can't think of his name. He's the one that he had red hair. He goes around to a lot of them. He actually got with two other guys and were waiting for the launch of the list, and they were driving down
I saw
to
that.
go. Okay, you know who I'm talking about.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
I can't remember his
and
name
he,
either.
yeah, I want to say Eat More Vegans
Yeah, yeah.
or
I think that was the name of the old channel. He changed
yeah,
it to
okay.
something else. But yeah, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
So it was fun. It was fun to watch that because he drove all the way down to Burnt Bean, and I remember seeing that probably 7 8 months ago when somebody did an interview with him because they didn't know who he was. For him to come out and be number one, it was crazy.
Yeah. Well, I kind of figured he was going to get number one this year because there was just so much content on him and his restaurant, like over the last, I'd say, 12 months, and specifically talking about him gunning for number one. And the food just looks incredible to me, and he's got so many varieties of different things on the menu. And I figure that would probably happen. I actually had a little bit of top 50 news around my restaurant, nothing crazy this week that I'll tell you guys about. But first, we're going to bring up Greg from Brisket Daddy Barbecue. What's going on, Greg?
Hey guys, how are you doing tonight?
Good,
Doing
man.
good, man.
Good, good, good. Happy Father's Day to you, gentlemen.
Happy
Thank you.
Father's
Happy
Day to
Father's
you.
Day.
Huh? What'd you say, Zumi?
I said Happy Father's Day.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think it's Happy Mother's Day or something. I don't know why I thought
Greg was ready to throw hands right off the bat. He wasn't playing.
what you said?
He
Nah,
said,
yeah,
"What you say?"
He shows up late and he's starting stuff already.
yeah. How you gentlemen doing? What I miss?
Not too
Uh,
much.
yeah, I did a cook today, and I still have to cook ribs and turkey tomorrow, and the sausage.
Oh,
Sausage
wow.
I got to smoke tomorrow.
And
So
okay, what you cooking for?
I have coworkers that I'm packaging stuff for to bring to them, and then feeding a couple influential people in the area. Let them try my stuff because they'll put my stuff out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Making some connections, man.
That's what's
And
up.
I talked to Sean earlier. I am still waiting. It says 2 hours to upload still, but I'm gonna put my first video on YouTube. I spent all the time yesterday when I did the brisket trim video, ribs and the pork trim. And then this morning I did the seasoning of the briskets and the pork. And then I did videos, which I might have to figure out how to do, but literally on my sausage making.
Fantastic.
So, except for putting it on the smoker. So,
Fantastic. Yeah. Look into your YouTube studio and get support because they'll get that video pushed through for you.
well, I ended up deleting it. It was like running on like 18, 19 hours at barely, it stopped at 80% completely. I ended up deleting it and redoing it. This one's been running for about 3 hours and it's 72%. So this is something was going on with it. Something was going on.
It's
So
with
just-
video editing and rendering out, it's that 85, it's a stall. It's like 85, 75 to 85%. It'll just sit there and just chug. So
yeah. Well,
that sounds about right.
I went to bed last night at 7% and woke up at 5 o'clock this morning. It was at 12%.
Yeah, so it's
Something
moving.
was going.
It's moving little by
Well,
little.
I deleted that and started it over. It's running a lot faster.
Good.
So,
Oh, look at this.
Even still, reach out to YouTube. They'll push it through.
yes.
Awesome. Well, I want to give a shout out to some people in the chat. What's up, Hojo Barbecue? Hope you're doing well, brother. Four Queens Barbecue in the building. Your average logical thinker, what's going on? She says, Happy Father's Day, Kirby and fellas. Hello, hello.
Hello.
I knew you were gonna pop in here when you seen Greg. I knew it was gonna happen.
Not till he's on.
Yeah, she didn't pop in until Greg showed up. Brisket Poppy in the building.
Brisket Poppy. I like that. I may have to rename that. I like that.
So this week I had a former pitmaster from I'm trying to be careful with my words here because I don't want to give away any identities. Former pitmaster from a Texas Monthly Top 50 barbecue restaurant come and interview with me at the restaurant looking for a position. So that was really cool. The restaurant she was a pitmaster at was on the list in 2021, so not the list that just came out, but the one prior. And so that was interesting. So we got her resume. When we start to pick up and get a little bit more busier and have a need for more staff, that might be a good phone call to make right there. Someone with some high volume experience, pitmaster experience, so that was cool,
How did you feel about the shack and the setup? Did you show her around and stuff, or just a straight interview?
We kind of just did a straight interview. I mean, she was looking around a little bit before I could sit down and talk with her, but yeah, man, with all her experience, I wish I could have just hired her, right there on the spot. But at the end of the day, labor budget's the labor budget. We're not quite there yet to be able to bring on someone full time, so that'll have to wait. But I thought it was cool, to bring somebody in with a lot of experience, especially someone who's been on that level before. So we'll see. The Fat Man Barbecue, what's up, brother? I hope you're doing well. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, man.
Yep.
Dino's Pie. Happy Father's Day to you, my friend. I don't know where the pizza's at, man. When are you gonna get it? When are you gonna send us some pizza? I'm sure you can vacuum seal some pizza and send it to us. What's going on? Your average logical thinker says, can you use her for prep before every event and opening until things pick up? it's possible. You know, I already have somebody for that, so you know, we'll see. I'm gonna try to work her in somewhere if I can.
Are they only looking for full-time work, or is she willing to accept
She's
on call or part-time?
she's pretty much looking for anything right now, but you know, we'll see. I gotta do some crunch some numbers and figure out how I can work it. Man, those pies said, "LOL, my man." Yeah, I'm telling you, if you can get them pizzas vacuum sealed up and ship them out, I'll buy some pizza for sure. So, Greg,
Yes, gentlemen.
um, tell us about your weekend, sir. I know you had a lot of stuff going on. Start from when you called me the other day.
Yeah. I called and talked to Sean the other day, and I got myself in a situation, and I don't have a solution just yet. My smoker. Am I on the right track? My
Yeah,
smoker.
yeah. Do you think?
My smoker. I smoke my meats at home. I do have a commercial kitchen, but I am cooking from the smoker, which is in the yard. And my neighbor, I went to my neighbor the other day, and I said, "Hey, I just want to check in with you guys and make sure it's not I'm not doing too much." And she goes, "Yes, you are." My smoker sits directly across from my neighbor's master bedroom,
Oh,
and I do night cooks. And so the smoke, the lights, the slamming and banging and open the doors is a bit too much for them now. And I don't know what to do. And with not being able to cook, that's going to shut me down basically, unless I find another solution. So for in the meantime, what I did was I called my friend. There's a guy in the community. I met him on one of my pop-ups. He wants to sell me a 1,000-gallon smoker on a trailer. And so I called him up and said, "Hey, you still got the smoker? I would like to use it. I have an event coming up next week, and I would like to leave it out in front of the house and at least use it to learn how it cooks." And so he agreed because that makes sense. So I have a 1,000-gallon smoker sitting out in front of my house on the street. And yeah, I used it, and it cooked extremely well, Sean. It cooked extremely, I wouldn't say extremely well. It was definitely a lot easier to use in the vertical. Um, I never cooked on anything this big. I thought it was going to take a lot to get it to temperature. I threw one big bag of lump charcoal in one side of it because on this particular smoker, there's fire boxes on both sides and the stack is in the middle. It's really odd, really weird. But I put an entire bag of it in the yeah, on the far right hand side here at the butt, and two big pieces of wood, and light that bad boy on fire, and it got to 250 and stayed at 250 the whole time. I literally just added some wood in every now and then just to make sure I had that smoke burning, that wood burning. But Sean was right. If you can pause it there, if we look at the back of this smoker, at the firebox, there's a 2-inch ball, right, Sean? A 2.5-inch ball, and
Yep.
that's the airport for it to be able to breathe. And I don't think that's enough air. I know it's not enough air. It was hot. The fire burned, right? You put wood on there, the wood caught instantly because I had a huge bed of coals. But soon after it would almost like smother itself because it wasn't able to get enough air. So I opened up the other side and let air kind of come through on that other side. It did really good. It was really cool to see fire way down at the other end of this 1,000-gallon barrel, looking from the bottom of it. But yeah, this guy wants to sell me this thing for $12,500. and it's got a 36-inch griddle on the back of it, a 48-inch griddle on the backside, a custom audio sound system, and a fish deep fryer, a Cajun fryer on the other back end side also. So I cooked on this 6 brisket, 12 slabs of ribs, 6 Dino ribs, and about 100 pieces of chicken wings. Sold out.
Wow. Where'd you take it?
Left the smoker in front of the house.
Uh-huh.
But I took the trailer out and went to just my normal corner.
Okay.
And showed up and showed out.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I know TJ's got a question. Before you ask that, TJ, your average logical thinker want to know, did you find a new location? I believe you did. Yes.
Yep, right across the street from my old place. Another not necessarily halfway vacant parking lot. I've been there 2-3 times now. Nobody said anything. So far, so good.
Good deal. So, okay. Well, TJ, do you have a question?
Nah, you got to make some modifications to that. It's interesting that they put the firebox, they made the firebox within the tank itself. And to do it on both sides doesn't really make sense.
Oh,
but
it is in the tank. I didn't think of that. Yeah, it is in the tank. Yeah.
So you could add some ports. From what I'm seeing, you can't leave that door open. Obviously, the fire will fall out.
Yeah, it will fall out, and it's hard to get it closed back because of the expansion of heat.
Hold on. So, question. So, if that's what happens, you're loading the firewood in the cook chamber.
Yeah. So I had in order to load the fire, I had to open up the far right door and get wood through a gap. Every single piece of wood I got in, luckily, did go in, but I had to load it in through the food chamber.
It does.
I didn't cook on that one rack specifically because I didn't. Actually, I was cooking more towards the center, but yeah.
Well, yeah, you would have had to because I'm sure those were hot spots on both ends.
Yeah. Well, he said the hot spot was right in the center because that's where the stack is. But I would imagine, the real true hot spot, would be where the firebox is.
So how hot was the other side?
250.
To me, that side, the other side was 250?
Whole thing.
On the other side of the stack?
Yes.
Without a fire on that side.
Yes, and that's maybe because I just put a big old bag of lump charcoal in there.
I mean, that's going to heat it all up, but I mean, I'm not a professional on smokers. I have the concept of it, and that completely works against the true nature of an offset smoker.
Yeah, it's
because you're almost doing direct heat. Almost.
Yeah, it sounds super counterintuitive. And that's what I told him. I was like, hey, I think that thing's gonna smoke like shit. To be honest. Like, no. But you got a good product out of it. And if you did, that's all that really matters.
I didn't put water in I usually put water in my smokers. I felt like my briskets were a little dry. I'll say like I didn't have as much moisture when I did my press test. I didn't have as much moisture in my brisket as I normally do.
Yeah.
Could that have been from that reason?
I mean,
it's a more direct heat.
Oh.
No matter how far you put it away, it's still in the same chamber.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
So think about like if you have a square charcoal, the normal like barbecue pits, and you put the charcoals on one side and you're putting the meat on the other side, like you're going to cook the meat slower because it's not on top of the heat, but the heat is still right there. You can see it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm really wondering what the person who manufactured that thinking was originally. And then I'm sorry to add speakers to it. Seems a little comical.
The I mean, it's a pretty bad sound, good loud sounding speaker. I guess people like call out orders when they were ready, or play music and call out orders. It's got a little microphone. It's got
Man,
a
you could have another speaker for there. Tell them take that
know.
shit off and knock off about $4,000.
Right,
That shit's
exactly.
ridiculous. I
Exactly,
mean, it
because
has.
like, yeah, I spent a lot on the sound system, but I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't need that. And then what you need is you need like the griddle and the fryer. That's a good add-on.
that's a good
You need to
add-on.
you need to do a walk around so I can see it.
I just sent it to Sean.
I'm about to put it on screen. I don't know if I would pay anywhere close to that. Actually, I know I wouldn't pay anywhere close to that.
No.
What he's asking for it. I just think for 12.5, or even honestly even half of that, you can get something brand new that's going to look a lot better, cook a lot better. Might not be as big, but honestly, for 12.5, there are companies that'll build you. I mean,
Yeah, but
I
wouldn't necessarily be.
I know
Sorry.
you can get a 500-gallon for 12.5, brand new.
On skids.
On skids, yeah. Or you go to the 250 on a trailer, and if you don't do anything crazy, you said Paul quoted you 16 grand, but he had you on an overlander package, firewood basket. What else was on it?
He had the griddle, and he had that little oven, right? Almost like the pizza oven looking like thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I just think you could get something a little bit better looking that would cook a little bit more efficiently for that kind of money. So here's a picture, right, of the griddle and the fryer.
Right. Okay, so they really just attached it to it. That thing's got to be sticking out a lot. That's crazy.
Well, I mean,
mean,
if we think about Paul's had that side skirt anyway, so I mean, it's not crazy far. It's not much more than it would have been on that load basket on Paul's smoker.
That's true.
Right, but that's still within the confines of the axles.
The footprint, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's here's the thing. 12,000 is not a lot for 1,000. The problem is you don't have 1,000. You have 250s almost, if that.
Oh, because you're saying because of the chamber, the direct.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Who wants to run around on both sides and manage fire if you were to put fire on both sides?
Yeah.
Like I said, they really just took this thing and messed up a perfectly good 1,000-gallon. Here's the thing. You literally could take that stack off, which isn't even big enough.
That's what Sean was saying.
Yeah.
It's
That
8
is not
inches.
big.
You mean like it's not in height? It's not
tall enough.
It's not tall enough. And honestly, if you were to throw a proper firebox on the back and put the stack in the front, you would need what? A 10-inch stack, Sean?
So mine's 6 inches in diameter.
But it's a 250, I think.
And it's what, 4 feet?
No, you would need a good 8 feet on that with a 10-inch stack.
Yeah. It'd be a lot.
And you'd have it would be some fabrication, yeah. But I mean, they really took 1,000-gallon and made it 2 unusable 250s.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't even think about that until you said it, TJ. Is you don't have a dedicated firebox, so you really do not have 1,000-gallon worth of cooking space.
Of smoking space.
Exactly.
Cooking space. No, cooking space, because unless you're putting things that need high temps, I mean, you can't put anything halfway in that first door where he's got the thing right there.
Yeah.
Anything closer to that's going to burn like super fast because that's where the fire is at.
Yeah. Okay.
You could probably cheat and put a stack on the tongue side and close off that stack and still keep the fire box the way it is, and you'd have a better offset. even just by adding a 10-inch pipe at the end of the trailer or by the tongue, close off the stack that's right there. Like you don't have to like.
That's exactly what he said he was going to do. He said he was going to move the stack down to where the tongue is, and then he was going to change the direction of the firebox. So right now it like swings open left to right. And he was going to do it to where it swings from top to bottom, but no talks about like, putting a firebox on the end of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get away with it. You just lose a little bit of cooking space.
Yeah.
With that, it's not normal to do that because you generally want the base of your fire to be below the tank. That way, the heat itself goes into the tank at a medium spot.
Yeah, and just understand you're not doing any indirect cooking on this. It's all direct cooking. Like with a traditional offset, the meat's not seeing the fire at all. But that's not the case here. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying it's not the same cooking style, right?
Got you. Yes. I did notice a difference in the way the briskets came out now that I'm thinking about all these different, as far as like you said, the meat seeing the fire.
Right.
And being more of a direct heat than an indirect heat. That's exactly why my briskets came out the way they did. They had the jiggle, they had the bark, but they were a little drier than normal.
Right. I'm gonna get into some of these comments. We missed some here. Oh, there we go. My boy Ismael said, with all this rain and this live, I need some Kirby's barbecue brisket, brother. LOL. God bless all y'all, gentlemen. Shout out to Ismael. He came out on Friday, was in a hurry, but got him some food and took off. We appreciate the business. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Your Average Thinker said, respect to you for even asking your neighbors and being civil about it. You will be okay. That's to you, Greg.
Yeah, trying to be a good neighbor. I mean, more than anything, this is a fun project for me. I'm learning how to get into the food industry, so I want to keep my name clean, be respectful of people's privacy. I would hate for somebody to start smoking next to my bedroom window and I can't sleep as an older couple. So I think I'm just gonna really move it over here to my other neighbor's house. Get a few months out of them.
There you go. Fort Queens says, "Holy smokes!" I love talking about the big old smoke you have. Your Average Logical Thinker said you need a 350 to pull that thing.
It's only 3,500 pounds, so my mid-sized GMC should be. I have a 75,000 tow package, 7,500 tow package. So, it's not as heavy as you think. We think that I thought it was massive.
No,
TJ stunting on us with that big old 350 he got.
Right, that's for sure. TJ's got the 350.
Actually, that's my wife's truck. That's in her name.
Wow, he got that 350 gas money too, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it stays parked a lot. We both have cars. Like I have a work car that I use because I have to do. I commute 40 miles to and back and forth each day.
Okay. Yeah.
Not in that truck.
Morris, hope you're doing well, brother. Thanks for tuning in. Your Average Logical Thinker. Thank you so much. $5 super chat. She says, shout out to Zoomy and Curb keeping it 100. Stay teaching and learning. That's right. We got to teach. We got to teach them.
Got to teach Greg.
Hey, Greg is over here doing good, man. I on Saturday I went out and I did $2,700 in sales.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice.
And then I finally got to I didn't get to my percentages just yet. But I got my totals of food costs was about $600 to $700 in food cost. Okay. And then my labor cost was $600.
Okay.
So with those numbers,
out of 2,700.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
That means I put $1,300 in the bank, said and done.
Okay.
And I'm just like, if you look at that number and say, okay, if I was doing that every weekend, that's a $5,000 month, right? But looking at them like, man, I'm just so tired today. I'm wearing myself out.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how long I can keep up and maintain. And how much, I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to maintain. Just
Well,
feels
It's
like it's too much.
different for Sean, who is about 10 to 12 years younger than us.
It's probably,
yeah,
It's
yeah,
an-
yeah. I'm a young guy.
I'm exhausted. Exhausted.
yeah. I'm like, I mean, from baked beans to mac and cheese to potato salad, then my proteins, the shopping, the social media, and nobody's really, as far as in the house, like on board like that. So I feel like I'm just wearing myself down.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, man. It's a
Yeah.
lot of work.
So like I don't want to like give up, but yeah, man, I don't want to do anything in July. Like I have a community event this week and I have a community event the following week,
uh-huh.
and I'm ready to wrap it up for the summer.
Yeah, take it up. I mean, that's the beauty of doing it part time is that you have the ability to do that and not feel bad about it. And it's not your 9 to 5. It's not your full time job. So that's great. And that's the other great thing about doing a pop up concept rather than starting a food truck or trailer or restaurant is if you got a restaurant, you got a lot of overhead. If you're starting a food truck, you got a note on that food truck. It's like having an additional car, if not an additional house, sometimes depending on how expensive your trailer was. And so when you're paying, $800 to $1,000 a month for your food truck, then yeah, you better do all those community events. You better be doing a pop up every weekend, so on and so forth. Better be booking gigs and parties. But when you don't have that and you just got a pop up tent or trailer that's paid for, like yours, then you have the opportunity to say yes and no to things. Right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I was gonna say, your labor cost on your day was actually kind of high. It was at 22%.
Okay, thank you.
And it should be around. I like to keep labor around 15%, but you don't have the overhead that I have,
Right.
so you can have more labor than I do because you've got more to work with. You got more wiggle room. So, like you said, with all that labor, you were still exhausted. Shoot, if you need to use that much labor dollars, use them because you got them to use.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Right?
had three brothers and then one young boy, and I paid them all $110 each. I believe that was $13 an hour for all how many hours they worked. And then another young boy, he came over to my house and he did 10 hours on just Friday alone.
Yeah, he was prepping, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But I kind of feel like you said, you don't feel bad, but I do feel bad because it's like I got people out there are you gonna be out here next Saturday? Like, where's your
Yeah,
normal spot?
but that's because they think that's what you do, and that's not what you do. That's not your main gig, you
Okay.
know. And people got to understand that. Same thing like me and TJ talking, and I'm like, dude, you do it at whatever pace you want to do it at. You go to the events you want to go to, you sell it how you want. If you just want to sell your stuff online, that's what you do. Like that's the beauty of it, and that's why I never pushed anybody to get a food truck or a trailer or a restaurant. I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. But I think the pop up's the best deal you can do. Go pop
Yeah.
up for a day, have fun, and go home and not have to worry about it next weekend if you don't want to.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's very true. And then I think that's why I also decided to not do an LLC.
Good
because
choice.
you know, we know that the LLC does protect us, right? And our assets. But because I know I'm not 100% committed to this, as like you said, my bread and butter, or having to go and do this every day, if I want to be able to just stop and not do this, like even next year, like
Yeah.
I don't want an IRS bill coming to me for $800
Yeah.
when I didn't do any work. Like, and I think that if somebody's gonna try to sue me, like I'm managing all my proteins. Like I know that my meat is being cooked to temperature, my chicken's being cooked. I mean, the only way somebody can probably get sick is if they swallow some foil or some metal. That would be the only thing I can think of. But like, if my potato salads are at temperature and all my proteins are at temperature, there's no way for nobody to get sick off of my food. It's just virtually, I'm thinking virtually impossible unless somebody online can help me out to understand something different. But, I have food liability insurance.
Yeah.
So that should cover the majority of it. And then this person's got to really prove that they're sick, right? Foodborne illnesses, from my understanding of my manager license, needs to be more than just one person.
Yeah. 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 As long as you got your food liability insurance, you're good. The LLC is only needed if you're taking it very seriously. You're gonna start selling very consistently. You know this is a actual business for you that you are gonna do, and you're gonna be bringing in real money. Otherwise, it's not. It's a waste of time to do it, and it's a big hassle because you got tax reporting, you've got franchise tax reporting, you got all these different reports and compliance BS that you got to keep up with. You have technically you're supposed to have a registered agent, all this craziness.
I don't have
That's
time for that.
yeah, it's a lot of extra crap for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Only reason I started one was I didn't start one until I got the brick and mortar. And then I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have got it. So I've
Mm.
had plenty of LLCs in the past, and every time I have to go shut one down, it's a pain in the ass.
So it is a pain to actually close them out also, huh?
I mean, it's not crazy, but like
It's just
you know,
more of your time that you.
more time, more BS. You
Mhm.
got to make all your stuff's up to date before you terminate the LLC and do all that good stuff. It's a headache.
And did you terminate these LLCs because you were no longer like in that field of business, or you weren't making as much as you wanted to be needing to have that?
I've had both scenarios. Yeah,
Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah, both scenarios.
I even have friends who have LLCs for their video production companies as freelancers, right? They're just showing up to work. And I'm like, why do you have an LLC? That doesn't make it, well, everybody just thinks have an LLC behind your company and you have some protection.
Well, they also think they're going to get a bunch of tax breaks, but 90% of the things that you can write off as an LLC, you can write off as a sole prop as well.
Yeah. Happy Father's Day
Well,
to the fathers.
what's that?
You
I
said
said Happy
that.
Father's Day to all the fathers.
Yes, our viewership's a little down tonight. People must be out with the families celebrating Father's Day, going to nice dinners, stuff like
Yeah,
that. And
probably.
we're just three bald guys on the internet talking shit.
Yeah. I went to dinner. My family took me to Morton's, the steakhouse,
Okay.
and I grabbed myself a what's that largest piece of meat that they serve? The steak that comes on the bone. What do you call that?
Tomahawk.
Cowboy steak
No,
or
what'd you say, Sean?
Tomahawk.
Tomahawk. Finally had me a tomahawk.
How was
Treated
that?
treated myself. It was good. The beef dino ribs are better. The beef dino ribs are better.
Yeah. Okay.
I did those this week too. I did 12 of those,
Yeah.
and I sold 11.
So you just got cars just pulling up. How many hours did you sell for?
11 till 5.
Okay, so 6 hours.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. And what is the vibe when people pull up? Do they know what you're selling? They don't really know. What like how's it go? People
They
hear
know. They know. I've got repeat customers. I've got a lot of new still. People are finding me on Yelp. There's one guy. I said, "How'd you find me?" Oh, I'm just in town. I put in brisket, and you had like the best reviews for brisket. And then my sign is out front. Brisket Daddy. That's kind of waving out there. The vibe is really good. I always have music going. I always have music. This week we had some like jazz going. Usually I have like my western and country music going. The jazz was a wonderful touch. I love that. I got a hand washing station with sanitizer and hand soap. Um, Waiting around, and then a person to take your order, and then a person to confirm your order and receive your money. And yeah, it was really good. I'm gonna send you actually some pictures. I know you wanted some pictures. I did take some pictures specifically for you, and I forgot to send those to you. The vibe is really good, though.
send them over. I can put them up on screen.
Yeah, I'll send them to
TJ
you.
don't know nothing about that LA jazz, that California jazz. TJ don't know nothing about that, man.
Yeah, I got a really good vibe. I'm always about like, enjoying. I'm definitely a host. I love hosting people, and I love cooking. So it just works really well.
TJ, please
For
tell me
me,
you're a jazz and blues fan, being from where you're from. Please.
I took it in college. No, thank you.
What? Bro, you right there by New Orleans and you don't like
I
jazz and blues?
I can't hear words in music. I have hear
Um,
tones. So whenever someone sings, only the hook I might be able to understand. So I don't listen to music a lot unless it's upbeat. I listen to upbeat music, and it's more for the tones because I cannot hear and follow the words. So whenever they're like, "Oh, that story is so great in that song," I'm like, "I'd need to read it because I cannot listen to it. I
Okay.
don't hear it." That's just how it works for me with music. So it doesn't work. I appreciated the jazz, but the thing is that a lot of the greats were recorded so staticky that would bother me to where it's hard to listen to it. Like I
mm,
took jazz appreciation in college. I enjoyed it, but the problem was is listening to the greats. It was so old and so the static part bothered me because I hear the tones more than anything. So it was hard for me.
I hear you. Guys, we are live. If you have a question, put it in the chat so we can address it. We want to get all questions answered tonight. Hope everyone's having a great Father's Day. I'm pulling up some pictures, Greg. I'm airdropping them to my computer, so I
yep,
will get those
yep,
up
yep.
soon. Awesome. So TJ had a cook day today. Going to be doing a little bit more tomorrow, getting those packaged up, getting ready to get to his people. Greg had a good weekend.
Did my
That's good.
sausage stuffer showed up? My sausage stuffer showed up.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I got delivered to the wrong address, but I have it.
Yeah.
And I was gonna use it, but then I was like, oh shit, I don't have any casings. So
Yeah. You didn't have any casings and you
Uh,
didn't have any blueberries. So,
no. Oh, I forgot about the
so
blueberries too. Right. I even have the pork butt. So I gotta go get a pork butt this week so I can start messing something up.
get the one without the bone. It'll be easier for you. You don't have to fight it. It's a little
Oh,
bit
okay.
more.
that's what
Uh,
I told him.
yeah, get the
I will.
boneless one if you're gonna cut it up because get a bone-in one if you're gonna cook it whole for pulled pork. Get a
Okay.
boneless unless you want to fight cutting around the bone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I don't mind
And,
cutting around the bone, but it is much easier when you have the boneless.
Okay.
you're going to lose some. You're going to lose some meat that you're simply
Just on the
not going to
bone.
be able to
I'm
cut
not
that
gonna do
bone.
it.
Yeah, no.
It
Yeah.
balances out because you have the
Yeah.
that's
Great question.
cheaper for the bone in So it balance. You're going to pay a little bit more for being boneless because they're doing it for you.
Uh-huh.
So what you lose, it's do you feel like doing it or not?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Hey, Chinook's got a good question for you, Sean. I'm going to read this.
Chinook says, Sean, how did your delicious looking taco go this week? Man,
Yeah.
it went good. We sold some tacos this weekend, man. I'm gonna pull it up. Yeah, we sold some tacos this week.
Yeah, they look good. I would have ate you at a house and home if you had them tacos.
I believe that, Greg. I believe that 100%.
And then you're using the moist for the tacos, yeah?
Oh yeah. Boom. So this is our outlaw street taco right here. It's a flour tortilla, moist chopped brisket, our elote, our house-made jalapeno ranch, cojita cheese, and cilantro. It was fire flames. My wife said it was the best taco she's ever had.
It looks really good. Extra cilantro for me. Yes, 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 yes.
And then we did what we call the cowboy taco, which is the same exact thing, except we replaced the brisket with our chorizo quesadilla sausage. That one was fire as well. So it was a good deal.
Looks really good. What made you want to move over to doing some tacos, Sean?
To be honest, the only new ingredient I had to bring in was the tortillas. So I thought, why not add another dish that people can enjoy with very low extra overhead as far as product goes. Tortillas are pretty cheap. The jalapeno ranch we were already going to be making for the new creamy jalapeno slaw. So it was kind of a no-brainer to just go ahead and do the tacos. And, my mind's always thinking of the kids. So I'm like, oh, we should do this. We should do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The more you can offer without expanding your menu is the best.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
So you said the tortillas were cheap. Do you what do you get, like five? You get those from the 99-cent store or something? Like 5 for 99 cents or?
Nah, they're not. They ain't that cheap, man. They ain't that cheap.
So me and Greg are gonna challenge you to start making your own in house.
Well, you know what? That's something that I would probably think about doing for maybe if you're in a different part of the country. But we've got so many Hispanics that live in the Houston area. And it's just kind of a little bit ingrained in the culture that all of these places, they make their tortillas from scratch anyway.
Yeah.
HEB has their own bakery. They make their tortillas from scratch. Food Town, they have their own bakery. They make their tortillas from scratch, right? So all these places are already making them fresh every morning. And so it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to do the extra labor of making mine in-house when there's that morning anyway.
I know. I remember. I was messing with you.
Or I mean, technically, if he was that committed or serious about it, he could technically go to one of these places and say, "Hey, I'm looking for 5 tortillas today. I want to make some tacos from my restaurant."
5?
A little more than 5.
You bugging,
He's not
bro.
trying to feed you.
Yeah, bro. We was some tacos today. Matthew Sam said that smoker could be retrofitted to work properly without too much trouble. I wouldn't pay $10K for it though. Not with it needing that much work.
Okay, great.
And that's part of the sale. That's part of the negotiation is going, this is not a true offset smoker. Modifications need to be done to it. I'm not paying that. Now, I was going to say this before. However, the speakers do work out for your personality.
Hey, but you know what though? Greg, you got to really think about it too, right? Because we just had this conversation about how, hey, this is not your full-time thing. How much time and money do you want to really put into this thing? And if so, do you want to put it into something like that that's going to need a lot of work? Or if you're going to spend your hard-earned money, I know I got the connection to Paul or whatever, but whether it's him or another company, like for me, I wasn't going to go buy just some used raggedy smoker. I didn't matter how good of a deal I was going to get because there was some 200 gallons out there on Marketplace that I probably could have bought. And like there was one, the guy wanted 2,500 for it. It was a 200 gallon, and it was like 45 minutes up the road from me. And I was like, okay, it looked okay, but it wasn't anywhere close to the quality of what I got with my 250. And I was like, look, if I'm going to do this for real, if I'm going to spend my money, even though it's a lot more money, I'm going to get exactly what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And so my recommendation to you would be is, get what you want and don't overpay for, like, if you're going to overpay, pay for what you want.
Pay for what you want. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I wouldn't get this, gentlemen. I just don't have anywhere to store it. Again, that's more expenses to have this thing sitting in storage. Right. Yeah. So it's not a good fit.
What's going on, Papa Haas? Hope you're doing well, brother. Happy Father's Day to you.
Going good.
Okay, I think I got some pictures to show.
Okay, what are we gonna look at?
We're gonna figure out, Greg, how much improvement you've done here.
But man, yeah.
Before we get to the meats, we're gonna show some pictures of your setup. So what are we looking at, Greg? Walk us through this.
Okay, so we are looking at a tent, and underneath this tent here, we've got the 12-foot trailer. I'm on the trailer with another young gentleman. I've got two guys in the back of house. I call that the back of house, and they're kind of dishing out the baked beans and potato salad and mac and cheese.
Did he shrink? Because I don't see him. I see the tall dude on the trailer, but I don't see Greg.
Yeah, I'm bent over right there. I'm the shortest one out the group. I'm the oldest one and the shortest one. And then I got a lady there taking orders.
Okay.
Yep, that's in this photo here. I found some pallets, so I'm using pallets to keep my food stuff off of the ground, 6 inches off the ground, which is a requirement for an MEV permit. I got the smoker there, converted it into a little grill so I can get some heat going on the bottom on one side, but some smoke on the other. A table to cut the ribs, and to kind of prep plates, and then they come up onto the trailer where there's a griddle and a fryer. Just got tables everywhere and foil, food warmers. It's a really good setup. It allows me to not have to get off, to load everything up on the trailer and then take it off and then set it up.
Right.
It's just on the trailer. I get everything on the trailer. I get there, then just take everything off. Just take everything off the trailer, get the smoker off, and then we just start putting things back into place as we need it to flow. My only question is, though, you guys, I need help on this, is I have to have 4 sidewalls. When I do a community event, I have to have 4 sidewalls. And so as you can see here, I put these blocks on. My 3rd day of doing a pop-up, I put these wooden blocks on to get my tent up higher so it can be at, I can work underneath it on the trailer. The blocks work well because it's not going to blow over. The 4x4 blocks are very heavy. But if I have to put a tent on this, 4 walls, technically, I can't do, the wall between myself at the igloo and the young man at the griddle. I can't put a wall there because I'm passing back and forth through there, and I don't really want.
How can they expect you to work in a tent with 4 walls, though?
Yes, Sean, do you have an answer for that? I mean, we see it all the time. When you go to community events, you see people in their tents. They're working inside their tents usually, right? They have
yes, but they don't have a trailer.
They don't have a trailer.
Typically, what's happening is there's a smoker. I wish I had a picture of this.
Yeah, you can find something on Google. Your cook station doesn't have to be inside the tent.
Exactly.
Right? You can have your cook stations, but anything that's being prepared should be prepared with inside the tent.
So you need to have basically, like when I went to the Texas Monthly Barbecue Fest, I'm gonna show you the exact setup of what everybody had. Give me a second. I'm searching through to find it. But yeah, essentially your smoker needs to be outside of
Yes.
that tent, obviously.
The smoker and the griddle, yes.
All you're doing is serving out of that
Prepping
tent.
and serving.
Prepping and serving, yeah. So let's go.
And if anybody online has any suggestions or ideas what you do at your events, yeah, just let's open up the conversation. And
Unfortunately, I'd say you'd have to have a second tent with that
That-
closed off, and the
that's
stuff that's required in there is the only way I can see around it, because you can't have the griddle in there, you can't have the smoker in there. Still have your canopy over the trailer, but move the essential prepping stuff into an enclosed one.
that's what I was thinking. I think that's what I was thinking. Just have a second tent in front of this current tent, and then
Yeah.
we're just passing stuff, you know, from the smoker.
Mhm.
I mean, I technically may be able to leave the smoker on the trailer if that's the case. I mean, put it at the, you know, it's going to be a little bit tight there. But if I'm going to be doing all the food prep and stuff inside the tent,
Yeah, you're going to be taking that stuff off the trailer anyway, so you'll
right?
have a little more
I
free
don't want to have
room.
I don't want to have a smoker, a trailer.
53
Then
Craft
10.
Barbecue. What's up, brother?
Happy Father's Day, 53.
Happy Father's Day.
4 Queens.
That brisket.
Like that's
Daddy?
probably gonna. That's probably your best option, is a second tent that'll meet that compliance, because it'll still allow you to do the one that you have
Right.
with it raised up.
Yep.
But I don't understand the 4 walls, because I understand 3
Flies.
because you need it open. Huh?
They're trying to cut down, they want you to cut down on flies.
It's not really 4 walls, though.
They're mesh walls.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you gotta.
Well, so that
Here we go. Here we go. Pause.
This is 3. It's 3 walls.
it's
It's
3.
three
Yeah,
walls.
it's 3.
It's 3
Yeah.
with a half, right? So look. So this is how they did it. Everybody had their smokers behind their tent, in front of, or typically behind or on the side. I'm sorry, behind or on the side of their tents.
Uh-huh.
And then they have their tents where you've got your 2 side walls and your back wall. So basically, you're taking your food or whatever that's coming from the smoker into the tent, and then you're serving out of the tent like this. Obviously, the front of the tent has to be open because you got to be able to get it to your customers. So it's not really 4 walls.
Yeah, so Amazon has like a 4-wall mesh thing, and like usually the front walls have the little holes in the front where you can serve out through the holes.
See, and like none of them had anything.
None
It was
of
just
them had
open.
anything.
Well, we're in Texas, so
Right.
Yeah, the rules may be a little bit different, but
Yeah, it wasn't making sense, Greg, that you were saying 4 walls. I could understand the 3 to kind of segregate yourself from the rest of the area. But Jesus.
That's a cool display.
when I tell you, guys, when I tell you this event was freaking amazing, it was amazing. Me and my wife went last year to Lockhart, Texas, and they have all the top 50 barbecue places. They all have tents out there, and you just literally you buy your ticket to get in or whatever. I volunteered the day before, so I got in free. But you know, you go in and you literally can just go to every single tent and pick up food. They do samples of everything. Bro, it's incredible. You get to try something from all top 50 places.
Top 50 picnic, huh?
Yeah, bro. Like, I got to get you guys to this year. Speaking of that place right there, that may have been where the young lady I was talking about earlier came from. But yeah, I got to get you guys out here this year for this, bro. Like,
I'll send you my frequent flyer number so you can get the airfare. Yeah.
Yeah, this thing was this thing was a great time, man. 2 days.
Yeah. Plus, if I put my walls on my current tent, it's not going to come all the way down to the ground because I extended it by 2 feet with the wooden blocks. So I was gonna order some walls this afternoon and just try to figure something out. The walls are like $130 for 4 walls. It's an Amazon packet.
And that's a mesh wall, I'd imagine.
Mesh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're 2 side walls. The one back one has a door, and then the 2 front ones have windows.
Yeah, you don't need 4. Like that's it should be 3.
Okay.
But you have it's that area. So
Yeah,
I
I
was
got
talking to a guy here about regulations, and we have regulations where I'm at. You move a little further out, there's a little less regulations. You move a little more rural, there's no regulations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's all where you're at.
Four Queens Barbecue said, I love Brisket Daddy. In one breath, is about to throw in the towel. In the other breath, he's trying to upgrade his smoker and tent.
I am, man. I'm all over the place, man. I'm all over the place. When I see them dollar bills, cash coming in, and it's like, okay, I can do this again. But then when I'm in the kitchen on that Thursday and Friday, I'm just like, dude, this is just not worth it. But the numbers, again, if I were to be doing this every weekend and the numbers consistently stayed the same or grew, it's pretty good. I mean, and I think I had maybe one or two young men out there helping me. I think that if I had some more older adults, I can probably do it with less labor, but then they're probably going to want like 20 an hour. So, it's a take and give as far as how much I'm paying. But I mean, to $1,300 clear on a weekend is not, I guess, all that bad.
Not at all.
So you take into account if you had that node on a trailer that 13 produces.
Yeah.
I mean, then the more you upgrade stuff, that takes a cut of that. I mean, it's a balancing act, as it really is. You staying small allows you to bring in that in, but you're topping out, because if you had better cookers to make the stuff easier, then it's not as hard on you with how often you're doing it. But then you're gonna make less money because you had to invest more in to be able to have that.
Yep.
2B Barbecue. Happy Father's Day, guys, and every dad online.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Dad online.
Tailgate 360 LLC. Happy Father's Day to you guys and chat. Happy Father's Day to everybody who's a father.
Did your dog get you anything, bro?
He did.
That dog is a mooch.
My dog is amazing.
He was mooching on you, I heard. Jump.
TJ, my dog did not. He's special. He does not love guests.
We know. I know he's special.
He does not love guests. Okay, he's very protective, and TJ took it personally. I try to tell him, don't take it personally.
What about the bite mark, TJ? You never showed the bite mark.
He didn't bite him.
He
did not bite him. That's cap. He did not bite him.
Yo, bro.
Speaking
Just
of
want to let you guys know and the whole internet world know that Sean and TJ convinced me to season up my ribs a little bit differently this week.
Oh, yes.
And it was a world of difference.
That's right.
It was a world of difference. A round of applause to you, gentlemen. A round of applause. Great job. Great job.
Show those ribs, but first, I'm going to show everyone my son, my cute, adorable, handsome son. Hold on. We got a couple pictures. Oh, look at that.
That's where he needs to be. He needs to be there.
Look at them teeth.
Look at my God. Look at that. Doesn't he look sweet?
How did he do in doggy daycare?
Great. Look at him
That's
smiling.
a good picture. That's a good picture.
Yeah. And he's working from home these days.
That's after he bit TJ and you sent him to the room, huh?
No, he's working from home. He's paying bills. He's paying for his dog food. What can I say? He's a great son.
Yeah. Yep, he's a good dog.
Look at that. How could you hate that adorable face, TJ?
It's a German Shepherd.
Look, I mean, I got to go back to the chat. I know the chat's got to be talking, right? Not yet. They will, though. 2B Barbecue, where is the barbecue festival going to be? It's always in Lockhart, Texas. Typically, I think in September is when it is. But yeah, man, that's Ollie, my son. Happy Father's Day to myself. I'm a dog dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Keep it real. On to Greg's ribs. Okay. Walk us through this, Greg. Because they definitely look better than what you were now.
Yep. Unfortunately, I did do a mustard binder. I'm a mustard fan. I know it's an expense that I don't need. I have bought a big thing of mustard because I'm doing potato salad every week. So I was like, I'll just slap some mustard on it since I'm not doing any oil or anything like that. I did get a heavy. I upgraded my pepper to a McCormick's
Coarse
pepper. Yep, coarse pepper. It just seemed a little bit thicker on the coarse, and it definitely is a more superior pepper than the store brand coarse pepper. So I definitely, shook it on with the pepper, and then my seasoning. I still stayed with my same seasoning, but instead of, like you said, rubbing it in, I just simply just shook it on, and smoked them always the same way. But I think just you could see the peppers, you can see the overall appearance. The appearance was better looking.
Yeah,
see the mustard.
I wish you wouldn't have missed our trimming day, though.
Oh, you trim your ribs?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never trimmed my ribs before. I didn't know you trimmed the rib. Well, I remember you said you do put the trimmings into the to sausages, but
That's a
so
video I'm gonna do for the members.
oh,
I'll do
okay.
a trimming video next week for the members.
What's the trimming situation on the ribs?
That's what I'm gonna do the trimming video for the members.
Is this underneath also?
I'm gonna show you in the trimming video. I'm gonna show you how to get these all trimmed up nice and tight, good, and then we're gonna get you right. Don't you worry about it. It looks like this top side of the rib might have cooked a little long, but it was probably that direct heat that got it.
All the ribs were cooked in the middle, but still, it's considered direct heat. Yeah.
But I mean, dude, it looks far and away better than the last ones.
Yeah.
So two things. Even though it's called a rub, you don't rub it in. And do you plan on buying more mustard? How about this? How about you thin it out? How about you water the mustard down so it's not as thick?
Did you see mustard on that meat right there? Did you see that? I thought I did.
Yeah.
I thought I did.
To use mustard as a binder. There is a lot of barbecue places that still do that, but
I did it for the longest time, and I don't bother anymore. I just use warm water. It works.
It does.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like a hater. I tell you what I do, but I'm not hating on anybody who uses mustard as a binder for it. But yeah, you could thin it with water, like TJ said, or if you just don't put on as much, you won't be able to see it.
Got you. Okay. Yeah.
And you have an even coating of seasoning. If you don't put on as much and your coating of seasoning is better, then you won't see it poking out like that.
Okay, so so now I did 12 slabs of ribs, right? So when I seasoned up the ribs and I put them into my food safe bucket, I was laying them like on top of one another. So I don't know if I was losing my even coating that I was working so hard to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's gonna rub all together, and it's basically like you're rubbing it on.
Yeah, because once you get it into the bucket, like last time, I literally was like in my bucket, just kind of just working, rubbing and working and stuff, and adding a rib in, sliding it across another rib, just seasoning all the crap up, right? But this week I was intentionally doing each one and then placing it in the bucket nice and safe. But I noticed that when I was going to go take them out, like it wasn't all as uniform as from when I seasoned it. So how do you manage 12 rack of ribs with only so much counter space?
Use sheet pans.
Yeah.
Sheet?
Sheet pans.
Like
You
the
know,
warming racks that he had, those trays.
Yeah.
They make smaller ones. Like I get them from Sam's.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
get smaller
Sheet pans.
ones.
Yeah. And then so
Sheet
I got to
pan.
get a rack then so I can put them on a rack.
you could.
Because then I'll have sheet pans just like laying around everywhere.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on whatever you want to do, but yeah, I mean, sheet pans. Like usually, I'll put as many racks on a sheet pan as I can, then take it out to the smoker, and then if I have to reload, then you reload. You know.
Okay.
I'm going to show your beef ribs because the beef ribs looked pretty tasty. I haven't done beef ribs yet. I might do a couple at some point, maybe towards the end of the month. But yeah, man, these beef ribs look huge. These look ginormous. How much did you sell them for?
30 a pound, 7.25 a pound purchase price. And I did a multiplier of 5 this time on these, which came out to $30 a pound.
And how much was one of these weighing at?
Yep. But the one on the far right was almost 2 pounds. The one in the middle was a 1 1/4, and then the one on the left was 1.
So the 2-pounder, you sold that thing for $60?
Yes.
Damn.
And then because I'm a nice guy, I threw in, I was like, yeah, you want to side with it? Not a problem. What side? Matter of fact, I'll give you 2 sides.
Right.
Like I was giving away sides like nobody business this weekend. Yeah. Yeah, I was just making deals happen.
Okay.
But it's really good to get a Dino rib and 2 sides for $60. I mean, my sister got one and she said her and her husband ate on it in the parking lot. And then they went to a restaurant. She pulled it out at the restaurant and ate some at the restaurant. And they still have some at home.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
So it's definitely a meal for 2.
Okay. Something else I got to show y'all. So here we go. 2025 Texas Monthly Barbecue Fest benefiting Feeding Texas and Lockhart. Here we go. This is the graphic they're rolling with for 2025. The annual festival returns to the barbecue capital.
November 1, November 2025. That's this year. Oh, we haven't. No, that was last year you were showing us then.
Yes, correct. It's an annual event. So this year it's November 1st and 2nd. So basically the way it happens is, I'll kind of read this. The historic downtown will provide the backdrop for the Barbecue World's Fair on Saturday, November 1st. So basically the World Fair is pretty cool. That's essentially what we did. Was me and my wife volunteered for day 1, the World Fair. And that got us free tickets to day 2, which is the top 50 picnic. So on day 1, they have a bunch of vendors out there from, big barbecue restaurants that may not be in the top 50, but they're still very, very good up there. And they have their tents out there, a bunch of smokers out there, super cool situation. Lots of and that's downtown Lockhart. And they have tons of different sponsors that come in, like Tito's Vodka, all kinds of different sponsors there. And people are just kind of walking around, seeing the sights. Those Uni Pizza Grills, they were out there. Yeti was out there. A lot of big sponsors were out there doing all kinds of cool stuff, giving out free drinks, all kinds of stuff. So you can go get some food, go pay for some food at some of those really good barbecue tents. Get some drink, walk around, have fun. There's music going on. They have competitions going on, rib competitions, brisket competition, all kinds of stuff. Really cool deal. So we got to kind of volunteer and help out that day, setting up the entire thing, and then throughout the event, kind of getting the pit masters. I was on pit master support, so anything that they needed, I was helping them get access to during the day. And then we basically volunteered from, about 9 to 3 p.m. And then from 3 to 6, we kind of hung out, did our own thing, got to enjoy it. And then Sunday's the picnic, and that's kind of what you saw in that video. They have the top 50 barbecue restaurants all have a tent out there, and they're all doing samples of whatever they wanted to bring out and smoke. It was a good deal. It was a good deal. It was a very fun weekend, and we really enjoyed it. And honestly, you could buy the tickets. I can't remember exactly how much they were. I think they were, there you go. So VIP tickets are 165, general admissions 120 a ticket. So it's not like crazy, right? 120 a ticket, but I wanted to volunteer, number one, because I didn't want to pay that 120 per person,
Right, yeah.
But number two, I kind of wanted to get to talk to the pit masters and talk to the people there and kind of network with people from Texas Monthly, which we got to do. Volunteering and just seeing how the operation worked on the back end of stuff. You know what I mean? So we got access to see stuff as volunteers that we wouldn't have got had we just bought a ticket.
Behind the scenes for free.
Exactly. What you guys think about that?
I like, especially
Yes.
so many great ideas about food and, like you said, just finding out people's processes. Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun, man. November 1st and 2nd. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna have to do with the restaurant that weekend because I would really love to go. So we'll figure it out. Savannah might be working the pits that weekend.
November 1.
That's one thing that's kind of rough. Going back to our topic about
We
doing
talked about that. We talked about that. Yeah.
is like having a restaurant. People expect you to be open every single weekend. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of really work in coverage for people to keep it open, or you just bite the bullet and close for a weekend and take a vacation, or do whatever. So that'll be interesting. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it will be.
Maybe Texas Monthly wants to invite me to go set up a pop-up tent. That's a really good excuse. Out.
You get full after getting samples for a while. You get full.
Oh my gosh, dude! You get full quick, especially when you're drinking beer.
Yeah, especially.
But I mean, it's like you go to one tent. It's like, oh, here's a slice of our brisket. Oh, you go to this tent. Here's our sausage leg. Oh, here's our brisket. Here's our barbecue. It's just so much stuff. You get full pretty quick.
It's heavy food.
Yes. Who sent me? What you sent me, Greg?
I sent you one more picture of the trailer. I think it was just a better angle.
Okay.
It was just a better angle.
Where'd you get this flag made, bro?
Yeah, I got that from that's called a business flag, or a feather flag is what they're called. My designer just took all my logos and put them on the flag. He ordered, I'm not for sure what vendor he ordered it from online. You can,
nice flag.
yeah, you can probably get them from just about any print shop or something like there's all kind of them online. Not for sure. Again, he designed it and then sent it over to be printed somewhere.
Okay, there we go. Now we can see everything in one shot here.
Yeah, now you can see it all in one shot.
There you go.
That's nice.
Yep, that's the setup. Back of house in the trailer, under tent, food off the ground. Tell these guys, hey, keep it clean. I stressed this so many times this week, and I said, we don't have anybody here right now. Let's clean up our prep area. Let's get the trash picked up because people don't want to come and eat where it's dirty and nasty. You're not going to stop and eat where it's nasty. So let's pick this up, clean it up, and be ready. I use that word battle station. I used that about 2 times. I said battle stations. So I got that from Sean and his crew. I love that. I love that to be able to You see people coming, get up, be ready, turn the fryer on, make sure we got some hot grease ready. So if they order some fries, they don't have to wait 20 minutes for the grease to heat up because I don't have a real professional fryer yet.
Are you talking about some of those world famous Brisket Daddy barbecue fries? Is that what you're talking about?
I am talking about the world famous Brisket Daddy fries.
Some of that Sacramento special right there.
Yep, it's a top seller. Well, it was a top seller. The ribs have taken over now.
Okay.
Yeah, the ribs have taken over. Say, hey, TJ, what you got going on there, man? You're at your commercial kitchen there. You got a rack. This is like you're good to go right now. This is a kitchen space, I'm noticing.
This is my studio.
Yeah, man. Do you cook in this thing? Because I don't ever see nothing moving.
You'll see on my videos when I start putting out. I was doing stuff today.
What's up,
And
Richie?
yesterday.
Because that sausage mover and stuffer has not moved a square inch from the last live stream.
Hey, show him
the last live
inside the warmer, TJ. He's talking shit. Show him inside the warmer. Show him how Zoomies Barbecue does it.
Oh, that's a real warmer.
You thought it was for show? You thought it was for show, Greg?
I thought it was for show. Oh, it does move. Okay. He just puts stuff back where it belongs when he's done.
Yeah.
So I liked Sean's idea with the clamping, but I had bought these suction cups.
Oh,
and I
okay.
had put them on the bottom, and it works real well. And yes, this has been moved because I actually added these to it yesterday, and I now have it facing this way instead of can't see the handle. Jerk.
Oh yeah, the handle is different. That's right. So when you buy these, they don't come with suction cups or clamps.
Mine came
No. Oh, yours came with mine did not.
Mine did. Yeah, mine did.
But yours is limbs, but they're identical.
That's correct.
Like meat just throws their name on it. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're identical.
They're close. I don't think they're close.
Right. I think you have a silver top on there.
Yeah, mine's all metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's plastic on the top.
Yeah.
And so what's the unit to your right, TJ? Yep.
That's the meat mixer. So 20-pound meat mixer manual.
A meat mixer?
For making the sausage. So when you grind it up, start there with the grinder, jump over to the meat mixer, and finish it off with the stuffer.
Oh God, hold on. I have to buy something else?
Too much work. Too much work. Greg needs a nap.
So the meat mixer is for 20 pounds. So I did 20 pounds. It gets to be a lot to mix that by hand. You put it in a tote. I did some videos today where I did a batch of the house sausage, which was only 6 pounds, and a batch of the jalapeno cheddar, which was only 5 pounds. So I didn't even bother using the mixer because it wasn't a massive batch.
Okay.
So I just did it in the container itself. I wasn't going to make it. I wasn't going to dirty it. Oh, and this is what I learned. I looked it up this morning. It's called a hank of hog casings.
It is called a hank. It is called a hank. Yes.
I kept saying shank, but it's called a hank of.
I said shank. Yep.
But it's actually. I looked it up. It's hank because I bought a new package of it, and they say it's a rule. It's a rule of measurement that gives you about 100 meters, 100 yards of hog casing, which should do about 100 to 150 pounds of sausage. I only did 11 pounds, and I didn't even use one whole string.
Right.
And the string was so long, I got tired of putting it on the horn, and I ended up cutting it, and I still didn't use all of it.
Oh, wow.
Richie, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Oh, wow. So I don't have to have that. That's just if you're doing more.
Yeah, the mixer is like how much sausage are you making in a batch?
I don't even have a mixer. We hand mixed 35 pounds of sausage the other week.
I know. I was there.
Wasn't that bad. It was,
Yeah, you might as well have had a KitchenAid grinder.
whatever. It was not that
KitchenAid.
bad. This guy.
Hey, as long as it's NSF, that's all we care about.
Right. That's right.
That's National Food Safety. If you don't know that.
And you know, other than the first night, this is where I've done the lives ever since. By the way, and you're just noticing this stuff.
No. I just saying that it never moved. I thought they were just like, like your books.
You thought it was a green screen, huh?
I thought it was a green screen.
Yeah. See, I thought the same
Yeah.
thing, Greg. I thought TJ I felt like he probably bought those sausages from somewhere in town and brought them, and he just had a green screen back there, you know?
Oh my goodness. I was in LA this week and I got some loaded steak fries from they weren't good.
Look at that.
They were not good. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, man.
I wasn't on the screen. Where'd you pull those from? A refrigerator?
Yes. Refrigerator's in another room.
And then what's all in the cabinet situation there? What's in the shelf? Are those like spoons and forks and plates? Or
Storage.
Just storage? Oh, those are a different kind there, yeah?
Nice.
Jalapeno cheddar.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you want to hear a funny story?
Sure.
So house sausage that I did,
Uh-huh.
I had one whole curl, like one whole spiral. I rolled it all, not one burst. I said, man, I didn't have one burst on this one. So when I went to jalapeno cheddar, every second or third one burst on me. Every single, like, that's why they weren't all wrapped up, but they weren't spiraled nicely on that pan. It's like I opened my mouth, and the second batch I had burst on everything. And still didn't use that whole casing.
Well, TJ was a little disappointed earlier when I spoke to him, Greg. And I think he's a little heartbroken because he tells me you never text him. He tells me you never text him, Greg, and he's very disappointed about that. And I think we need to fix that, Greg. I think you should be sending him pictures of your food and your cooks and what you're doing because he's missing out, bro. And he told me how heartbroken he was.
I will step it up. I will step it up, TJ, and I'll make sure I keep you in the loop. I was dealing with Sean more because he's been coaching me and bringing me along the way, getting me from crawling to walking. I'm gonna let you in on the process too before I shut down my business.
Before you shut it down, or you expand it into franchises.
I know, right? Shut down, grand opening, grand closing, same day. And then reopen the next day as something else, rebranded.
Yeah, I got this 1,000 gallon and I made $2,700 last week. But honestly, bro, I think I'm done for the summer.
I just be so worn out at the end. I'll just be like, man, this is crazy. I guess I'm relating it to my media work and production work. If I worked for 3 or 4 days in production, I mean, the payoff is a lot better than the I don't have to worry about
Greg,
paying.
You got soft hands. Just say that.
Yeah, I got soft hands. You soft enough for you to like that video. I know that much.
Oh, speaking of which, thank you so much. So we didn't even talk about this on the
Oh,
line.
you appreciate it, baby.
I told you how much I appreciated it. Greg put together an awesome video for our grand opening. If you guys have not watched it, you got to go back and watch it. I uploaded it on the channel earlier in the week. Yeah, hell of a job on the video. It
Very good video.
I couldn't have did it without TJ's help, though. I mean, the drone shot, establishing drone shot, You know, the angles that he was providing for me. I mean, he did. Yeah, I appreciate it very much.
It was a
We
team
shot
effort.
a lot more content that we didn't even use, like the going live videos, and I just thought we were gonna have more time on our hands, and we didn't. It wasn't
No.
like it wasn't gonna be as vacationy as I thought it was. These guys like picked me up and took me right to work.
I didn't expect it to be a vacation. How came to work?
I was trying to chill. I was gonna work for a little bit and then chill.
Oh, you did. Plenty of naps.
Well, I didn't know if you knew what you were getting yourself into, Greg, because you know it's all go mode when the weekend comes.
Yeah. I enjoyed myself so much, and I thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for doing that, because if you wouldn't have said, "Hey, let's shoot some interview stuff," I mean, I don't know how I would have put this piece together. Probably would have still been sitting on my desk, you know, thinking about how I was going to formulate a story. But you told the story very well, and everything else that TJ provided just accessorized. So it's a team effort.
Guys, go ahead and answer any questions that you have, and then we'll close it out so these two gentlemen can get back to their families on Father's Day. Richie's Barbecue says, "How are you doing with the new cooker?" I've got that thing dialed in. Dialed in. Some of these briskets I'm finishing at 9 and 10 hours. Like, got the thing dialed. So I'm enjoying it. It's producing some really good product, putting a lot of smoke on the sausage links in just a very short period of time. I wish I should have taken a picture of the links that I smoked this morning. They were freaking red. I mean, just really a lot of good smoke in just like 2.5 hours. They turned out really, really good. We sold out of sausages like super quick today. Sold out of ribs super quick today. Which crazy is the only thing I had left at the end was brisket.
That's a first. Like, you always have ribs left over, not brisket.
No, I mean, everybody bought everything. I mean, they were buying brisket too, but we had brisket was the last thing to go.
Were they doing like specific like plates for ribs, or was it from the Trinities?
People at Trinity's, and then we had people order by the pound as well.
Okay.
We had people order by the pound as well. We sold a rack of ribs yesterday, and then today a lady ordered like 2.5 pounds of ribs. So that's basically a whole another rack as well. So yeah, it was good. It was good, and we're starting to get a lot of people from a little bit further out too that are coming to check us out, which I think is probably because of our reviews, and we're getting a lot of word of mouth going and things like that. So I'm excited. I think it's got a lot of. I think we're not even doing. I don't even think we're doing 25% of the volume we could be doing there, to be honest. And so it's a slow grind, but I know we'll get there. It's just a matter of time.
So, Sean, did you change anything with the pipe, with your stack, with the fan, or the other fan at the firebox? Can you speak on that?
I haven't touched anything.
You haven't done anything.
Haven't had the time. Haven't had the patience. Haven't had the TJ's ingenuity.
Right. So
yank that fan out. Take that fan out. It don't work anymore anyway. That way it's blocking it.
But he's using that to keep the rain out, though.
Correct.
No, I'm not saying take the cover. I'm saying there's 3 bars on the fan. Just yank those bars.
The screws.
Cut them out.
Oh, the bars.
It still has the covering, just not the fan blades.
Yeah.
Not the blades, the whatever. There's 3.
It's just 3 arms that are holding the motor in the middle. Right. Just take that out. Take it out.
Well, I don't know if he can do that. He may have to.
I'm pretty sure I can do that.
I know
how to break stuff. I know how to break stuff, but just not build it.
Oh yeah, you can, just don't follow that smoker while it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot in there. So
yeah, I know how to break it.
He can do it in the middle of the week when he's not cooking. He is there other than Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
I am. That I am. I got to go up there and do inventory tomorrow and place an order. That'll be delivered Tuesday. So it's an all day affair, Greg. It's all day. It's an all week affair.
So what makes it dialed in? What are you doing this week that you didn't do when I was there?
Better fire management.
Better fire management. I have my times a little bit more locked in, and I can predict the firewood management better. Because like before, when you first get to know the smoker, it's like okay. And then Florida Cracker Barbecue asked, "What size is your smoker, Sean? How many briskets can you fit on?" So it's a 250-gallon smoker pit from PRM Barbecue Co. And it fits 9 briskets comfortably, but I could probably fit 12 on there if I really wanted to. But yeah, so before it's like, okay, because the dials, the thermometers are not a instant read, right? You're not getting an instant temperature on the bus. You're not getting an instant temperature on the thermometer, so you have to kind of predict based on the way your fire is looking in your firebox, when you need to add another log. It's like you don't want to add one too soon and have that fire going too hot, and you don't want to add one too late and let your temperature drop down too low, right? So I just pretty much figured out fire management, figured out, how much wood exactly needs to be going in at what times it needs to be going in based on how big the coal bed is and how much the wood's broken down and things like that. And then just staying on top of it really has been the biggest thing. And then also, since I have that dialed in, I don't have to go out there and open the doors as much.
The doors to the meat?
Yes. So they're not having a lot of heat, and the firebox door as well. It's
you just open it up, put the wood in, and close it back.
Yeah, and I'm not having to go out there as frequently to check on it because I know in my head now I've got it dialed in. I know when I need to go out there and deal with it, and it's cooking pretty smooth. I don't worry anymore about temperature spikes like I did with the whole countries. Worried about I had to go out there every 25 minutes to make sure that my smoker wasn't at 600 degrees because I had a grease fire.
Been there across the master bedroom.
With this thing, once it gets up to temp, throw the meat on, and I can go do my prep and not worry about it for an hour, and I'm good. I got some questions here in the chat. Four Queens Barbecue says, Sean, I've been following you since early this year, and I kicked my ass for not buying the mentoring package from you, but I did take a lot of your advice through your videos. Awesome. Hey, man, it's never too late. It's never too late. Oh, he said he had his first pop-up on Saturday. Okay. How'd it go, Four Queens? Let us know how it went. Let us know. And
Four Queens did his first pop-up? I thought he was already out there.
No. He did his first pop-up this past weekend. Congratulations, man. I hope it went well. I hope the advice helped. Let us know how it went. But congratulations on that. And it's never
congratulations.
Mentoring package, my friend. You can always sign up and get some one-on-one time, man. What else we have in here? Florida Cracker Barbecue. We saw Greg's. I'm assuming that's what he's using on the trailer. What's he talking about? The smoker.
Yeah, that's what I'm using on the trailer. That I take that out with me just to have fire.
How about TJ? What are you cooking on, TJ?
I'm cooking on a Old Country Brazos, and I also have a Camp Chef pellet smoker cabinet. I have the pellet smokers, but I mainly use that for doing a sausage just because it's keeps the consistency way better. And also, if I get tired after I wrap, might put it in the cabinet to finish it off. I did that today because I was just tired. It was hot.
Yeah, that's fair though. Like finishing on like the pellet smoker. I mean, I know we're not fond of putting it in the oven, right? But we can. And once we get those 6-8 hours of smoke, right? We're just finishing at that point. So you're saying every now and then you'll put it on the pellet. You cook your sausages on the pellet, You cook
Mhm.
your briskets on the old
Stick
country.
runner.
Yep, and then you may finish it off sometimes.
Don't take that idea too far, Greg,
Okay.
No.
because there's a reason why my briskets, they don't even get to the color I want. They don't get the bark that I want until usually like hour 8 or 9.
Yeah. Yeah. I pretty much pulled mine. So I finished at 5. I pulled them at 3. It didn't get the color I wanted until 3, and that was still at like right over 160. And I wrapped them and put them in the cabinet smoker, and it took 2 hours to finish it off. And it didn't matter. I still did temperature, touch, and probe, and it was all good. It went in like butter. It had the flex that it needed, and I wrapped them in the foil after, and they're sitting in there. So I only did that to finish it off
Yeah.
because I had a very early morning, and then I was running around doing a lot of recording content,
Mhm.
prepping all the other stuff. So that takes longer to do than just doing it itself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Richie's Barbecue said, have you noticed any sweet spots on it? I don't know what you mean by sweet, maybe like hot spots or just sweet spots where it's good to cook. Honestly, the thing cooks pretty evenly throughout. Obviously, the door closer to the firebox is usually about 15 to 25 degrees hotter, but it's pretty easy to manage. So usually if the smoke stack side is at 225, the firebox side's at 250. So it's cool. Kind of have two different zones, but it cooks pretty evenly for the most part. There has been times where the entire smoker's sitting at 250 and you're good. Four Queens said, I did 2 private events and 1 pop-up. He said, so the pop-up was great, but a bit scary. I wanted to be attentive to the customers, making sure my product was correct. I made 3 briskets, pulled pork, 9 racks of ribs, mac and cheese, and cornbread. Wow.
Mm.
He said sold out in 5 hours.
Mm.
nice.
That's at his first pop-up?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's a gamble. That's a lot of food on the first pop-up.
4 Queens, where are you at in the country? Let us know. You got to remind us.
Well, Four Queens wasn't from Minnesota?
Chinook is from
Oh,
Minnesota.
Chinook is from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
and
just-
Fat Man Barbecue is up there with them.
Yeah. 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 I mean, that's a good amount of food. Like you guys are, and I don't know if maybe I'd be curious to see where he's at. I mean, he's in upstate New York, he says. So, I mean, you guys are in 2 markets that aren't really known for barbecue, but they're densely populated. And I mean, people are coming out for y'all. That's fantastic. I'm happy to hear that. I mean, some of these days, like you guys are making more food than me some days, which is incredible to do. And certainly doing a pop-up, you're way more profitable too.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, no, hats off to you guys. Hats off to you guys. That's fantastic, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, because if I would have a brick and mortar or some kind of responsibility of overhead, what I made this weekend would have covered for a while here, maybe a half a month of rent.
Yeah. Richie's Barbecue said, I know you just got the cooker, but have you noticed any sweet spots on the lower grade? Any rotating? No, I don't do any rotating. I don't believe if you got a cooker that cooks efficiently, effectively, I don't think you need to do any rotating, to be honest with you. I think it's a complete waste of time. But that's just me. Yeah, I haven't noticed a need to do any rotating. If you place it right in the right spots initially, shouldn't have to do any rotating. Now, that's not the same on a backyard cooker. If you have something a little bit smaller,
Oh,
then yeah, you might have to rotate because there's definitely some hot spots. But at least on my 250, I can pretty much put in. I have places I prefer to put certain proteins, but it wouldn't be the end of the world if I put them in a different spot. aside from the upper racks. Upper racks obviously are going to be much hotter.
Yeah, they really.
What was that?
Yeah, I haven't had luck with the upper rack at all. At all.
You know, honestly, they haven't been bad for me. Like, if I need the space, I'll put them in, and the ribs are fine up there. Even the sausage, if I put them on the smokestack side, upper rack, turn out fine. I just, keep a little bit better eye on them, right, to make sure they don't get too hot. But it hasn't been an issue for me. But on a smaller smoker, I could only imagine. Probably is a disaster.
Yes.
You haven't even used the top rack yet, Sean?
What's that?
You said you have not used your top rack at all?
He did.
Here and there as I needed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Four Queens Barbecue. I tried opening at 11, but wasn't able to open until 12. Ran out of time. Just trying not to forget anything.
Yes. Oh my God. That is the worst part of the pop-up. That's where I struggle. It's like, yeah, my start time is 11. If I'm not up at 6 a.m. and getting things out of the fridge and making sure I have the forks and the plates, it's just so stressful because when you leave, you leave. And then I need 2 hours just to get set up. I got to get a grill on, get table set up, music set up, guys in their position. Bro, I know it's a struggle. You gotta move earlier or the night before, which I found to be most handy is have everything completely packed up is that as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And then so in the morning you're just pulling out your protein from the fridge and your food from the warmer. It's a struggle. That's where I wish I had a brick and mortar.
It's a different beast. So get the what is it? The totes, the black and yellow totes from like Home Depot.
Yep.
Pack all your utensils and all your cutleries and all that stuff ahead of time. And anything you can knock out in advance is what you want to do. That's the way to not burn yourself out.
Yeah, because if you do it the day of or morning of, it's just too much. And then working from a checklist, like people, like Sean was saying, people would say you need a checklist, but like that's eating up my time. Like I don't have time for a checklist. I just gotta go. I gotta go. Like I just haven't had time to stop to make one. And if I made one, I'm like nervous. I'm not gonna be like using it.
You can put that on your phone. Come on, you can put that on your phone.
I do.
Have a good week, Jeanette.
See you, man. I do make lists. I do put lists on my phone. I do that. I have done that a few times. I will say though, like this last 2 weeks, the last 2 pop-ups have been much better. I've been packing a lot more the night before. I did upgrade to the buckets with the yellow tops, different sizes. Yeah,
they got a new one, like it's a smaller one.
Yeah,
I bought like 8 of them. Like, those things are like I have no use for them yet, but I'll find something to do with them.
Yep.
But
so
they're durable and they're stackable.
How big of a container, Greg, did you get for all your black hardcore carnivore season?
Did I send you a picture of my brisket this week?
You did. It looked a little rough.
I bought one jar.
You bought more?
No. Just that one. I was in Texas. I just got the one.
Okay.
I got the one.
Take that one and throw it in the garbage.
I'll be out sooner than you know.
I bet.
I probably got 2 weekends left, and then I'm out.
Well, you'll be tomorrow. So
right. Like if I get to these 2 weekends with it, then hey, that's all I needed. Grand opening, grand closing.
Greg's got 2 more. He's got 2 more events, and then he's retired. We're gonna change his name on here to Brisket Daddy retired.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Former Brisket Daddy barbecue.
Former pit master
Former
Barb-
pit
yeah,
master.
former pit master. Oh my goodness.
Four Queen said we only have one spot up here called Brothers Barbecue, but that's a few towns down. People were stopping and telling us we need more barbecue. I set up on Main Street next to a barber shop, so good traffic. Okay, cool. Yeah, we've got so many barbecue places around here that it takes a little bit of time. People got to start to try your food and pick you as their favorite place so they can keep coming back. They got a lot of options here. Richie said, "Do you think you'll be doing any more pop-ups in the future?" Not at the moment, just because I've got the brick and mortar restaurant now. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
where we're at.
more events than anything.
Yeah, maybe some events and things like that for sure. I'll do, but as far as pop-ups, man, pop-ups at my restaurant every weekend. Come through.
Right. I pop up. You pop up every weekend.
Pop up every weekend, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, to be honest, like when I started doing the pop-ups, my wife was like, "So are you gonna be doing this like you're gonna be doing this like once a month, right?" And I was like, I'll probably do like every other week. And then it turned into every weekend.
Every week, yeah.
Yep. Same here.
It turned into every single weekend. And she was like, Are you gonna take off next week? I'm like, nope. We're doing it.
Same here.
So yep.
That's the thing. Like looking at this farmers market, I mean, I can only be there every other weekend, but I'm gonna probably see about my wife and stepson doing jambalaya on a weekend that I'm not there, because I do a fire jambalaya. That's really good. So it's one thing I probably will sell. But the thing is, the fastest cook on I got was like 2.5 hours, but you still have like a couple hours of prep involved in that.
And Greg, just so you know, there's no avocado in jambalaya. Okay. Nothing weird like that. No ranch in there. Nothing California in there. Okay. This is real Louisiana shit. All right.
Hey, that's California avocados. That's what we do.
Yeah. We don't do none of that shit in our jambalaya. Okay.
And you know what makes the biggest cost on that was the sausage. Buying the sausage was like the biggest cost. Everything, like I do sausage, I do pork, and I do chicken, all in it. And the sausage was like the higher dollar amount. I'm actually gonna just start using the house sausage that I make.
You know what would be a fun trip too, Greg? If TJ took us out to Bourbon Street, that would be a fun trip.
Kind of. You never been to Bourbon Street?
I have. Yeah, I had a great freaking time.
Yeah, it was good. Now I know why they call it the Dirty South.
Oh, yeah, man.
I didn't know that it was.
Look,
Actually, it's a lot cleaner now.
I was a lot younger. The last time I went was probably like a decade ago. But I had a blast. 21-year-old son had a blast.
Yeah, I had a good time too. You know, I bring the party with me, but it was definitely interesting to see the people and to deal with the people. Yeah.
What do you mean by deal with, Greg? What does that mean?
You know,
They're all taller than him.
Yeah. Talk to just out there, just on Bourbon. I was out there for a week.
Roasty. It's called Southern hospitality.
Yeah, they're very. Oh, you know where? Oh, Draco's. You've been to Draco's, TJ?
I know of it.
Draco's is where they have those clams on the
Dragos. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I love that place.
Oysters.
Charbroiled oysters.
Mm-hmm.
That's not barbecue. We can't put that on the menu, huh?
You'll find a way.
Man, I need some fried gator. I want some Cajun food now.
Yep, they got that out there too. Tastes like chicken.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Well, gentlemen, we're coming up on 2 hours live. We're going to go ahead and shut this thing down. I'll answer this final question. What kind of cigars are you smoking now, Kirby? I'm thinking maybe I need to switch over. Lately, I've been smoking the Gurkha Ghost cigars. I think TJ's a fan of as well, if I'm not mistaken. But the Ghosts, I've been smoking those lately. So yeah, give that a shot.
I sent you one last photo, Sean.
Oh gosh.
I sent you one last photo that I need you to show TJ in the world to give you the proper respect that you deserve for a job well done. Thank you for getting rid of that yellow phone too. I appreciate that.
It was a loner. First of all, it was a loner. All right.
Mhm. Get your eyes ready, TJ. This one right here. This is going to show you guys I respect what you guys say, and I'm learning to follow your instructions.
Here we go.
Did you throw in the carnivore black in the garbage?
Is that better? Still a little yellow there in the middle. I can see that mustard there still.
Yeah. You just got to thin it out. That's all.
Just got to thin it out.
Yeah. Just add some water to it to where it's not pasty. That's all. I used to use a binder. I used to use mustard all the time. But I would rub it all in to make the surface tacky. That's really what you're using it for. You're not using it for any flavor purposes.
Yep.
So when you have that much on there where you can still see it when it's cooked,
Okay.
you're gonna taste it.
Okay.
It's too much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to use it. First of all, it's cheap.
Yep.
You don't have to use you literally you can thin it out, or you use less and just rub it over, because you're not supposed to see. You're supposed to just see a light tint of it to provide that binder.
Yep.
But again, you can use water, which is included in your utilities.
But thank you, gentlemen, for helping me. I've come a long ways from not cooking ribs a month ago to serving up the world's best ribs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The world's best ribs right here in Sacramento, California.
So I'll put him on a blast a little bit, but I've been speaking with Hope's Barbecue, and he is going to try and come on the next live with us.
Perfect.
Good. I've been needing to talk to him too, so perfect.
You know, gentlemen, we should try to make it out to that Texas Monthly Barbecue Fest.
We'll talk offline.
Yeah, I'm not for sure. I'm looking at the calendar already. I'm coming out to Texas in November. I'm going on a cruise, flying traveling out of Galveston, which is near you, right?
Correct. All right, guys. We will talk to you all later. Peace.
2 hours. See ya.